Hi, everybody. Carmen
and Reva, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We are here for this week's How Do I? We do this series 10 a.m. Tuesdays Pacific time every week. And this week we're doing something a little bit different. How do you buy the hottest gifts? And we're talking sewing gifts. And so what we are going to do today is, I don't know if you've seen it, but we have a beautiful holiday gift guide where we have curated some of our favorite sewing machines, notions, tools, accessories. There's also a couple of really great tips in here that Reva, of course, wrote because she is our guru.
Tipsy.
You're tipsy. Well, it might be a little early to be tipsy. I don't know. But anyway, we have a lot of great stuff in here. So what we've done for today's video is Reva and I are going to take you through some of our favorite notions and machines and some of the things that are in here so you can get a little bit more information about them. Now, this holiday gift guide is a PDF on our website, so you could go there and you could flip through. It has a nice little flip book action if you want to see the actual paper version because there's so much in here. We're only scratching the surface because we know you probably don't want to sit here and watch us for hours and hours, but we thought this would be a fun way to talk through some things, maybe give some ideas for either, some ideas of things you could tell your family or, your husband about, or your spouse, or maybe these are fun things you could give someone else. So,
or you could give yourself, because sometimes our loved ones and our husband, they just can't even catch our tip.
That's true. I mean, I do tend to fill my own stocking at my house because,
then
I can put in a couple of things that I find along the way as I'm shopping for others, which is sort of fun too, right? And we are going to talk about some fun stocking stuffers as well. So, Reva, should we talk about some of the stuff that's on this table to kick it off?
I think so. One of my favorite, I'm going to move this stuff, but one of my absolute favorite tools, and these make great stocking stuffers or presents, is the Quilter Select cutting system. So what's really good, I'm just going to, would you hold these two?
I would.
So first of all, the mat is awesome. It's light on one side and dark on the other. So no matter what color of fabric you're working with, you have a side that you can work with. They're numbered from left to right and right to left. So it doesn't matter which way you want to cut.
Yeah, these are my favorite.
Yeah, they say it's good for both left and right-handers, but I'm left-handed, but I cut, sometimes I'm cutting with my right hand, sometimes I'm cutting with my left hand, so the numbers really work really well for me. But what makes them magic, I'm going to use this one, is that the markings on this ruler exactly line up with the cutting mat, and that does not happen with other cutting systems. You either have to follow the markings on the mat or on the ruler. You cannot use them in tandem. So this is really great for that. It also has the grip 'em side to it. So if I had fabric down here, I guess we should have been a little bit more prepared, and I was cutting, the fabric actually will move with the ruler. And it is yellow, so you can see it on both light and dark fabrics, which is cool. Now the rotary cutters come in 3 different sizes. We have our standard size, which you will imagine, because I don't have it here, it's a 45 millimeter, and then we have the 28.
And this 28, you guys, is brand new, which is super exciting. What's so interesting is for years, I just used my 45 millimeter rotary cutter, and I was sort of like, well, this is great. It's awesome. I mean, right? So much better than scissors. If you've never used a rotary cutter, even if you're just doing garments, rotary cutters are amazing. They're so much easier for cutting perfectly than using scissors. And I've used my 45 for forever, and then that one came out. Now tell us why you want a 60, because that thigh's bigger.
This is bigger, and this is perfect if you're cutting lots of layers or several layers. And I'm not going to say lots of layers because you're not going to go for 8 layers, but this gives you the ability to go through more fabric. And just real quick before we talk about the other size, this has a safety that's on all the time. So let's go back down to the mat. Let me show you how this works. So you can see it has this little button right here. All we do is push it and set it down, and then the safety releases, and you can just flip it over. and then the safety is back on. So
Yes,
this is
so
great for
much better.
thicker fabrics.
Yeah, and it'd be great for fleece or anytime you're doing something that's thick, or maybe you have your quilt top and you're
Truing up
your corners, you're trying to true up and you have all those layers, and sometimes that rotary cutter just feels like it's not quite cutting it, and that's where the 60 is going to be amazing. And then I think hopefully most of you know what the 45 is. That is the standard one we've had for years, and then this guy is super exciting. He's the brand new 28 millimeter. And then also, while you're talking about this, why are these heavy?
Okay, so they're heavy for a reason, which is why you asked me. Okay, so
yeah,
part of the reason is that way when you're cutting with them, it's doing the work for you. It has the weight to push down onto the fabric, so you don't have to push really hard.
Yes.
So it helps keep you from straining your wrist. It also has a nice ergonomic handle, so it's very easy to use. Now the 28 is nice and tiny, and this is really good if you're going to be cutting around an armscye, or maybe you're doing a drunkard's path quilt block or something like that. This
anything
can make
that's smaller.
tighter. Think of it as the sports car.
Oh, I like that. That's a new one. The sports car of rotary cutters. There you go. That can be a selling point for your husband.
Yeah,
for your
this is your
spouse, too.
four-wheel drive.
There we go. Four-wheel drive. There we go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay. And the other one's just standard. So this is just a beautiful system. We have mats in all different sizes. In fact, we have this really pretty mat. Don't you love the color? It's just so beautiful. So this makes a wonderful gift for yourself or for someone else. But there's a magic side to it because it has a wool pressing mat on the back side. However, the mat is exactly the same as the other Quilter Select mats in that it will match up absolutely exactly, and you can use everything in tandem. So we're going to talk about some pressing things now. It's a pressing matter.
It is a pressing matter, and I have something really cute that we have here to press with.
Is that not the cutest thing? I mean, seriously, look at this.
Oh my gosh.
He is so cute.
These are the new, there's two new Oliso irons that are Tula Pink. So this is the mini iron, and it is pretty awesome. You do have heat settings here. It's pretty sturdy. It comes with a silicone pad to rest it on, which is great. And this guy really is so much more powerful than I've seen in a mini iron before.
Yeah, but you know, we were facing it this way, and this is something that's new. The Oliso didn't used to have holes. This is also a steam iron, and I'm talking about the mini irons. Didn't used to have steam holes.
Yes.
Or they did, and they kind of didn't work.
And they really do project steam. I've been pretty impressed with it. And then there's also a little light here on the end, and it helps you see where you're ironing, which is great. So this is the baby one, which is super cute and fun. And they also have a really big one. There is also a new full-size Oliso that is Tula Pink, which is super duper fun. Look how cute this is. And I love on the sole plate here, it says, please don't feed the fish.
Why does it say that, Carmen?
What do
Could it
you
be
think?
Because it has a fish tank.
I think so. It has a fish tank.
Thing?
Well, and also, like, you don't want to feed the fish. You don't want to get sticky residue on here, right? You're not going to feed the fish.
Oh, yeah, I was literally thinking you don't want to put fish food in this.
And yeah, well, you probably shouldn't do that either. Fish food is also not going to help your iron, but this is a really beautiful iron. Oliso makes lovely irons. And what's fun about these is that they are bright, they are cheerful. I think they're so cute.
Yeah, and you know, we should point out this little thing right here, because this is, if you haven't used one of these irons, you might be going, what is that big black thing? Well, this is a foot. This is a foot, and this is a big foot. And so with this iron, when you're done pressing and you let go of it, it will automatically raise up. So your iron is not resting on your project, so it's not going to burn. And then when you touch the handle and pick it up, it retracts, and then you can iron.
Yeah, and this is a really great system. Oliso has had this in their irons for a few years now, and it's one of our customers' favorite styles of irons. Looks like we have a question. What is the pink dot on the plate for?
It says Tula Pink, and it's cute.
Tula Pink, yes, because these were all, the pattern has all been designed by Tula Pink, hence why they're pink, which is really fun. We have a lot of fun Tula Pink stuff. in the stores right now. And we have a Tula pink fabric.
Oh, and there's a new line coming out.
There's a new line coming. So if you like Tula, there's a lot of different things. We're not featuring them all here, but she has new pink hardware. She has some new projects. She has...
And the hardware, we mean for bag making, not for screws and things.
Yes, exactly, for bag making. And in a little bit, I'm going to show you a Tula pink trolley.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yes.
It's so cute. But let's talk about pressing. Have you ever pressed anything, and maybe it's a quilt square, and you are an over presser, you're a little bit more exuberant about it, and your square ends up not being square anymore.
Yeah, I've done that.
That's where this comes in handy. We have two different styles of this. This is a wool pressing mat that has a grid printed on it. And let's see if we can get in tight to that so you can see the grid. I think we're gonna have to go lower when she
so she can flip here.
There we go.
There we go.
So that is the ironing board size, which is really awesome because it has that fun little ironing board shape to it.
Yeah, and what's great about this is it fits perfectly on your ironing board, and this is for a standard size ironing board. And wool is just such a great surface to press on as well, which Reva, I think, will talk a little bit more about that, because wool is just a nice pressing surface.
Yeah, and well, while you brought it up, I'll mention, and also we have it in the large rectangle. So if you have a standard board shape, this is the board one is the one you want so you can get the most out of your real estate.
Yeah.
It lays on top of your board. It doesn't cover the board. It's not a cover. It just is a mat for the top. And then this is a rectangle if you have a large, like a quilting one. But what makes wool really fabulous for pressing is that it retains the heat. So when you press, it will retain the heat, and you let your piece just sit there for a moment, and then then it will cool, and it will keep a sharper press.
Yep.
And also, if you press your embroidery face down, the embroidery will go into the wool and it won't get flattened.
Right, yeah, and that happens a lot. If you have ever tried pressing an embroidery design, and if you feel like the design itself got like smushed, it really did. And that's the reason why you want to flip it upside down and press it on a wool mat like this, so it'll hold its form, and that's going to work out a lot better. And then the other cool thing about these mats is because they are large. I don't know if you watched me earlier. Oh, we're knocking things over. But they roll up, and they come with two bands to keep them rolled, so that way you can store them really easily, which is really helpful. So they come with these purple bands that go around them, so then that way you can store them, so that way you don't have to use it all of the time. But these have been really great. It's a brand new size. Maywood has made pressing mats for a long time. They do a lot of cool stuff with wool. Anyway, so they're pretty
But
fun.
I think this is the first time that they've printed them.
Yep.
And I think this is one of the most popular items that we've had.
Yeah, this season, because they've been new this fall.
Yeah, so they're really, really awesome. Oh, also they're really good if you do any type of applique or heirloom work where you're needing to pin and have a pin board, because you can pin right into the wool.
Yeah, that makes sense. I love that.
Okay, let's talk about a little bit more cutting. We have this beauty right here, and this is the Floriani favorite tool set. I don't know the official name, Carmen. Can you remember what it is?
Yeah, well, I'll grab the packaging that I have right back here, actually.
It's amazing. But what I love about this is it has the zipper closure, so you're going to be able to close it up and carry it with you when you go on it's the Essentials tool set.
Yep.
When you go somewhere. But look at all the beautiful tools that it has in it. And so we have a pair of tweezers here, a stork beak tweezer. We have a double curved embroidery scissor. We have the fine tip, this fine tip little scissor is perfect for doing a little applique in the hoop. We have a duck bill, and then we have the snips. But look at how pretty these are. Look, they're blue.
So pretty. I love the color.
They're like an
iridescent blue.
Yeah, they're just really,
they're so pretty. And then, all of the items that we're showing you here today, these are all on sale on our website, and they're on sale in our stores at special holiday gift guide pricing. So check that out. We have it on the website. We have them in stores. And like I said, we have a lot more fun stuff, but we're hoping this helps give you some fun ideas of things that, might make fun gifts.
Yeah, now,
they would make fun gifts.
They all make fun gifts. One thing I love to do with my set is I have this in my sewing trolley.
Oh,
and I
nice.
keep a set in there, so that way when I go take it to a class, I always have my cutting tools, so I don't have to worry about it. So that means you have permission to get two of these, one for home,
Yep.
and one for your sewing go bag.
I love it. These are so great.
All right, now when we cut, we make a lot of mess, but first of all, Merry Christmas, Carmen.
Oh, thank you. Is this a bottle of wine?
It's a small bottle of
a very small bottle of
special
wine. Let's see. Oh, not a bottle of wine. Okay, you guys, this is super fun. This is a brand new little vacuum. And now you might say, like, Carmen, why would I care about a vacuum for my sewing? Well, the reason is this thing is, one, it is battery. So you charge it, and so it's cordless, right? So it just has a little USB port here, and you plug it in and you charge it.
And it's a USB-C, so you can use the same charge that you use for your
phone or whatever else, exactly. And then it has a button here, and you can, it has 2 different settings for suction, and you can vacuum either straight, right, like with this guy here, or you can use the little tool. And the reason, I'll just turn this off so you don't hear it so much, but the reason, you can see it has a little dusting brush, a little guy. How many of you have a dirty sewing machine? Me? Right? So like, or a serger. I'll put this down here so you can see it.
It's perfect for a serger.
It is great because you can use this to vacuum around your sewing machine. It would also be great in your car, on your type, like if you have a desk and you want, you know, to type. And then the other cool thing is it also has a blower. So when you would take off this piece right here, and you would turn it on here, and then this just becomes a blower now. And so now you can see if we like blow it, you probably can't tell in our hair here, can't see. Anyway, but it blows. You know, there you go. You can see how it moves those, but it definitely, like, see how it blows my hair here.
Do we need the film effect?
The film effect?
Film effect.
Oh yeah, just like a, yeah, that's right. So you can see that this has all of the things you might need, and it's on sale right now for $59. And guess what, you guys? Who wants to win one?
Ooh, we should do that.
Who wants to win one?
I do, and I'm taking off this little end here, and I just want to show you something. While we're getting the people who want to win one, we're getting that ready. This comes off. She showed you this comes off, so you can do the blower. But this top also comes off, so you can clean it out. And this is a little filter that comes out. Now, this is great for your sewing room. It's great for your car. If you do paper crafting, this is amazing because we have all those tiny little bits of paper.
And this is what it looks like. So if you're in the store, it's called the Sonic Power Mini Vacuum. So if you search the website and search Mini Vacuum or Sonic Power, they actually make a whole series of cordless items. So they have like a bottle brush, electric bottle brush.
It's not glass. It's okay.
Cleaner. They have a cool scrubber thing, but they're all battery operated, right, where they get charged. I guess it's not battery operated. I'm using the wrong language.
They're rechargeable.
They're rechargeable. There we go. And so it's great because they're cordless, and that's really what I was after trying to say. But these guys here are pretty awesome. So right now we're going to give away 2 of them. So we're going to give away one to someone who is listening. Let's see, I've got a handy helper here who's going to give us a name. So this person here who is watching right now, congratulations, Sharon Richmond.
Yay!
You just won this. Please message us. Either you can message us on Facebook, or you can just email marketing@qualitysewing.com, and we will figure out how to get this to you. And then also, if you are not watching this live, I want you to have a chance to win too. So if you like, comment, or share, even if you are watching live, you can still like, comment, and share. And on December 20th, we will announce the winners of all of the prizes that we are giving away today. So share this with your friends, like it, comment. The more times you like, comment, and share, the more times you're entered to win.
And it makes a perfect hostess gift.
It does make a perfect
the velvet
hostess gift.
bag comes included.
Right, that's right. Velvet bag comes included. There you go. Super fun, but really a great new product that we are all loving because we all have things to clean, right? So I think I'm going to pop over here quick and let's just talk about some sewing machines, and then we'll come back to some more notions because we have, obviously we're Quality Sewing and Vacuum, so we have a huge variety of sewing machines for sale. And Reva and I tried to talk about, like, well, which ones do we want to talk about today? And because of course we could spend 5 hours just talking about sewing machines because there are so many different ones. So what we decided to do is pick 3 of our top selling machines that are great for, they're great travel machines, they're great entry-level machines, in case you're shopping for somebody in your life who maybe is newer, or maybe it's like going to be your first serger or something. These are some great options. So the first one I have here is the Baby Lock Victory, and the Baby Lock Victory is a air threading serger. So what a serger does is it finishes at the edges of our clothing. So like most of you know, like when I flip my shirt over here, right, this has all been serged on the inside, and it is finishing the edge and cutting the fabric, cutting off your seam allowance at the same time, which is pretty amazing. So I always sort of equate it as like, this is like your microwave to your sewing machine, right? You still need an oven, right? You need a sewing machine because there's certain things that like a sewing machine does you're not able to do on your serger, like a buttonhole, you know, a straight stitch unless you have a cover hem serger. But sergers are really great if you want to do garment construction, if you want to sew on stretchy materials. They can actually be great for quilting if you just want to like zip things together and keep them really reinforced. There's a ton of different uses for a serger, but how many of you have had a serger that was hard to thread? Right? All of us at some point, if you've had an older serger, they have been crazy hard to thread. You have to get in there and you're going upside down, you're trying to get that looper. It's like not any fun. But what Baby Lock has done is they have an entire line of sergers that are air threading. So let me just move this over out of my way. And so what happens with this guy, which is pretty cool, is I just load the thread to here, and then I just push this button, right? And it's actually this guy right here, and go whoosh. You probably can't quite hear it. And it just threads those loopers for me. So that way I don't have to, if I pull this guy down too so you can see it here, it threads the loopers for me, so it makes it incredibly easy to thread. Now this guy is not the most entry level of sergers that does air threading, but it is the first one that has the lay-in tensions, which makes it much, much easier to thread right every single time, and it is by far our best selling serger. And crazy user friendly. It's going to do the 2, 3, 4 thread over edge. It's going to do a rolled hem, all of that good serger stuff. And then right now it also comes with the Victory Inspiration Guide. And Baby Lock does this so well. These inspiration guides are so amazing because they take you through how to use the different feet. They take you through how to be successful with different types of fabric. And it's a step-by-step guide. So that way, like if let's say I wanted to do this attaching lace to lace, right? Which is in here, it shows me how to set it up, what stitch, where I want my differential feed, all of the things. So I don't have to have that memorized. It's right here in this handy book. And then I also love that they have space here because guess what? I would write there and like write myself notes because a lot of times when I do something, it's sort of like my cookbooks. They also are like scribbled all over because I want to write myself a note about what I liked or didn't like or what I did that worked out for me. So this is a really cool inspiration guide that comes with the Victory, and then it's also coming with a thread set. And so you get to start off with some thread and a inspiration guide, and this guy is on sale on our website right now for $14.99, which is a great deal. It's regularly $24.99, so we have an excellent sale, and we have a whole line of sergers, right? So we have more entry-level sergers that have a lower price point, and then we have the top-of-the-line sergers as well. But for today, I just wanted to sort of like, you know, a serger, it could be a great gift. We have a question here. Can you use any thread with a serger, or does it have to be serger thread? You can technically use a lot of different types of thread on a serger, but a serger goes through a fair bit of thread because they sew very quickly. And the reason why you have the cones here is partially because of it's holding the volume of thread, and then it's going to flow off of the spool a little bit nicer. Is there any other additional thing you would add to that, Reva?
The only thing, if you can get it through the looper, it's gonna work. So you can use heavyweight threads
in the looper.
Oh, let me show you. I have a sample.
She has a sample. Here. So, but the needle, of course, if the thread's not gonna go through that needle, it's not gonna work, right? So you wanna keep something that's in a standard weight for your needle.
So this is 12 weight that was used.
Let's see, can we zoom?
There we go. 12 weight that was done through the loopers of a
now
serger.
These specific samples were done on the Baby Lock Applaud, which is a brand new machine from Baby Lock that is pretty cool.
But you can do a similar thing. In fact, I'm coming back. This I did on a machine very much like the Victory. This is a 12 weight thread in both the upper and the lower looper. So you can do lots of fun things. And then of course you can use a fine weight thread. And a serger thread is actually a finer weight thread than a standard sewing thread. for the reasons that Carmen was talking about.
Yes. So, yeah. And then the other thing, often with a serger, because of how you want it to look, you're going to use four of the same color. Sometimes you'll want to, like how Reva did some decorative things there, she's used different colors. But a lot of times if you're doing garment construction or something, you're going to want it to be like all gray or all pink or all one color, because that's going to keep it looking really cohesive. Okay, so the next machine I want to talk about is the Baby Lock Jubilant. So this guy here is an excellent starter machine or an excellent travel machine. So this guy has 80 built-in stitches, which is pretty awesome. They're super easy to get to. You just dial them and you can see that it changes here on my screen. You can adjust your stitch width, your stitch length. It has some of my favorite features here, right? It has my needle up and down. It has speed control. It has a start-stop button. This little machine is a workhorse, right? It will sew on light fabric, heavy fabric. When my friends ask me what machine should I get my kiddo, I'm like, oh yeah, get a Baby Lock Jubilant. There are more basic machines, but the beauty of this machine is it has all the things you might need to be able to grow into the machine. And then also it's incredibly easy to use because look at what this guy is over here, you guys. Built-in needle threader that's super amazing and easy. And I know it feels basic, but like we all need a needle threader. So much better. And then right now this guy, he's on sale for $5.69, regularly $8.99. And it's coming with this cute little sweep seams thread set. And it's coming with all of these amazing needles because it's really nice to have a whole set of needles. We're also selling this set by itself on the website. So if you're like, ooh, stocking stuffer alert, which would be great. This has a whole selection of needles. It has leather, it has denim, it has quilting, it has embroidery, really any needle you might need. And I love to have all of these close to me when I'm sewing because then if I decide to do something, I can just change the needle and I don't have to run to the store to get it, right? So this is a nice little package. Would be like a great travel machine, like I said, also a great entry-level machine. Maybe you have someone who's going off to college next year in your family who needs a new sewing machine or someone who's just getting into sewing. Awesome machine, super easy to use. Thanks, Sharon. We agree. It's a nice little machine. Okay, and then finally, the last machine I'm going to talk about is over here. I guess I should move some more stuff so you can see it. Oh, we got another question. What is the weight of this machine? That is a great question. It's not that heavy. But we are going to have to maybe look it up on the website and see, because I don't know off the top of my head, but it doesn't weigh that much. Reva's searching. I can see phones. People are searching right now. This is where it's fun when it's live, right? So they're going to look that up, and I'm going to come over here and show you this guy. This is let's see if I move him. Are we good? Okay, so the machine I'm going to show you next here, this is called the Brother 3550W. Now, this guy is pretty awesome. Oh, did I not turn him on? Let's turn him on. He even has a beautiful screen. 14. The Jubilant weighs 14.4 pounds, so very easy to take places, which is part of the reason why we're talking about it, because it's nice to have a travel machine. If you have a big, beautiful machine at home, which we all love to have, it's nice to have a little one you can take on your quilt retreat. Okay, so this guy, here we go, is the 3550W. I'm going to hit the screen here. What's cool about this machine is it packs so much value, okay? So this guy is a full sewing machine. Look at all of those beautiful stitches, straight stitches, zigzags, hemming stitches, ton of beautiful decorative stitches built in alphabets. It has a really lovely screen that's telling me right now, it gives you all the warnings. It says, take off your embroidery hoop, Carmen. I need to, move so I can get going. And then I say, okay here. And it's a beautiful touch screen. And just like that, it moves. And you can see that it has the designs. There's tons of different built-in sewing designs, but then it also has beautiful embroidery. So this is a 6x10 embroidery hoop, which is a really nice, large size. And this guy is a huge value machine. So if you know of anyone who's been thinking about getting into embroidery, but isn't quite sure, or maybe somebody who has like a 4x4 embroidery machine that just like their hoop is too tiny, this machine is a great value because you get the full sewing machine and you get the 6x10 embroidery field, which gives you a lot of space to work with. And right now it's also coming with the 24 spools of jewel brother thread, which are really pretty. I love jewel tones. So that way you're ready to go and you can start embroidering. And then of course this guy has even more of my favorite ease of use features, which if you've watched any of my videos around like what do you want in a sewing machine, I always talk about these features, right? So this guy has the needle up, needle down. It has the thread cutters. It has the presser foot lifter button here, which is great. It has the speed control. It also has the start stop button. And then of course it has the amazing, just amazing needle threader. So really great combo machine, and I believe that this is on sale on our website for $22.99. It is regularly $39.99, and that is an awesome deal. And I believe we actually even have a slightly better deal in store on this guy, so you could give us a call or you come into the store and we can let you know about that as well. But pretty awesome deal. And these of course are just a tiny selection of machines because we have, like I said, hundreds of machines, right? At Quality Sewing, we have the Brothers, the Baby Locks, the Braninas, the Jukies, Handy Quilter, Foth, and Viking, and Janome. And so like if you've been thinking about a new machine, you should come in. We have fabulous deals for the holidays. All of the vendors have come up with beautiful packages where you're getting an excellent price and you're getting cool free things. And we are really a one-stop shop where you can come in and like check it all out. And if you don't live locally, we have a live person. Her name is Emily. She's on the phones. You would call her and she can walk you through all the different options. And she's really super helpful. And then we can ship it to you because we ship anywhere in the US and we have free shipping for anything over $100. So it's pretty awesome and we can get it to you before Christmas still. So yeah. Let us know if you have questions about machines. So Reva, now you guys, has some fun stuff over here.
I do.
One of my favorite parts of Christmas is the stockings.
Oh, are you going to peek in the stockings?
No, well maybe soon we get to peek in the stockings. You want to tell us about
the stockings first?
Yeah, should we talk about some of the fun sewing tips you have here first?
Yes. So one thing that is extremely fun to do for the holidays, because we have hostess gifts and other things like that, is to do a towel. And you know, because it's it fits everybody.
It does, and it's such a great hostess gift.
So I just wanted to talk really quick about how you do a towel. Now this one has a little bit of a terry fluff to it. So you're going to use either a tearaway stabilizer on the back or a wash away. Now am I suggesting that you wash the towel before you give it to the person? No, just trim it as best you can. And this was done with a tearaway, so you can see how nice and clean that back is. But if you use the wash away, just trim away the extra, and then when they launder it, it will go away, because you know we don't want it to look like a used towel, which is what would happen if you washed it. But what's really important, if you have a terry towel like this or a waffle weave like this has that texture in it, is that we want to protect the integrity of the thread, because a thread will sink into the material and it will kind of make it disappear. So on top, we want to use what is called a topper, and it is clear. It is in with the stabilizers, but it is not stabilizer. This isn't going to hold anything in your hoop. Now you can use a wash away topper, or this is my favorite, and it's called Heat to Go from OESD, and it is an iron off topper. So you put this over your towel before you do the embroidery, and then you do the embroidery on the towel. And I'm going to hold this up and see if you I don't know if you can see there's a little bit of a shine right in there. That's some of the topper that's right there, because this perforates and you can pull off the topper. But what makes this...
so it looks like we have a question. Does that stabilizer gum up your needle?
It does not. It's not sticky at all. That's a great question. No, it does not gum up. Does not gum up. What I like to do too is when I put it on top of my fabric, is I use the basting feature on my machine and baste it in place, or you can use like the pink tape and hold it in place. Now, when you're done, pull off as much as you can away from the outer edge. Another question. Does the type, Betsy, you are so good. That's where we're going. And no, it doesn't, but if it does, it does. Anyway, I'll explain. So anyhow, this needs to go away is direct contact with the sole plate of an iron. So when you iron this off, it will disappear off of this, and any stabilizer or topper that is underneath the thread will always be there, because it cannot touch the sole plate of the iron. Now, Why is that important? Is because if you're doing an embroidery design and you're washing your towel, the loops eventually of the terry will come up through the embroidery, making it look shaggy. Now, you want to follow your instructions, and here's another little tip that I like to do is I take my instructions and I roll them up and I stick them inside the tube so I know what on earth it is, because you know white stuff is all looks the same, and then I have the instructions. So you know how if less is good, more is better? That is not the case with this. And a lot of your stabilizer products, you want to follow your instructions and you start with a lower temperature, and then it will disappear. And if it doesn't work, then you just turn up your iron a little bit. And so Betsy, I hope that answers your question, because if you start with a really hot iron, it may seize and you may not be happy. So follow your instructions. But that's how you're going to do a towel. Okay, really cool. Now the next thing that I wanted to share with you is, you know, Christmas is coming and you may want to make a stocking, and these are so pretty. These are actually called a tile scene. Actually, I think the blue one's going to be easier to see. The tile, can we get in really close on him? Can you see the sections? So this is great. So even if you have the machine with the 5x7 hoop or that 6x10 hoop, you can sew the different sections, and then you sew them together and you create your larger design. Now when you're doing this, there's some steps, there's a recipe you want to follow when you're doing a tile scene. All of your tile scenes from OESD will have the instructions in there, but what you're going to do is the first thing you want to do is take the woven fusible. This looks like a white cotton fabric, but can you see how that's a little shiny? That's a fusible on the back, and you want to fuse that to your base fabric. So it has more oomph to it. It has a little bit more stability. And then you're going to hoop this with a piece of heavy tearaway stabilizer, and then once that's hooped, your fabric is hooped with a heavy tearaway, then you take a medium weight tearaway and you slip it underneath the hoop, and then you have a nice stabilization. And the fusible, woven fusible will help keep you from getting any puckers. And yes, this snowman is beautiful, and these stockings are actually a design collection from OESD. It's the tiled stockings from by Donna Gilsinger, and they're just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and when you're doing a tiled scene, the reason why you need all of those layers of stabilizer is because they are very dense. That's how it creates this beautiful tapestry. If you've never done a tile scene, these stockings are a great place to start because they're not as big. I'm sure some of you have seen those really giant tile scenes, and this is a great place if you've never done a tile scene to do one, because it's like very doable and you can get it done, and it's such a fun technique, and it's so cool how it just, you know, it's a tapestry.
And the results are absolutely, they'll just blow your family's mind. Right?
Yes.
They're just so beautiful.
The fusible woven we were showing is the OESD product. Do you remember the OESD name for it?
Fusible woven.
Fusible woven. There you go. It doesn't have any fancy name. All of these stabilizers, they often name something, but we've been using the OESD one. Also, when you get a design collection like this, there is a PDF that comes with it that's going to give you these step-by-steps of what stabilizer to use and how to do it. So there's always a resource there if you have a design collection that, like, maybe we talked about it 2 years ago and you haven't used it yet and you're like, I don't quite remember how to do it. Open up that PDF and they'll walk you through it, or you can always pop into a store and we can help you out. But yes, these are really very beautiful. And what's cool about the OESD designs now is when you order them on the website or even in store, we can just load them right into your design on demand account, into your actual OESD account online, so you can get them the same day you order it. Which, I'm telling you this because if you're me, you're just starting some projects for the holidays right now, and we only have like 2 weeks.
Say it's
so
not so.
I wouldn't have time to order something, so I need it now, and we can do that. And if you are a SoFun member, you're still going to get your 20% off those designs when you order it, when you order them through us, as opposed to ordering them direct from OESD. So I just wanted to, let you know about that as well.
Which is a beautiful thing. So you can go shopping on the OESD website, find the collection, even if it's not on our website, find the one that you want. Give your local store a call or call us up online design, and we will do that purchase for you. And like you said, if you're a SoFund member, you get a discount, which the OSD website won't be giving.
Exactly. And then we can load it into your account and you can have the designs the same day. And these designs come in all formats. So no matter which sort of embroidery machine you have, you get that. Hey, yes, exactly. You're not the only one that procrastinates. I think we all do that. I think it's part of being creative.
I don't think it's procrastination. I think it's taking advantage of the seasonal spirit.
Exactly. Or it's maybe we're ideating, so we're trying to make it like really perfect. And so we have to like get there. And then once we get there, we're like ready to do it.
You know, you say that in such an eloquent way. I say noodle. You say ideate.
Yeah, ideate.
Okay. We have different dictionaries.
Different dictionaries. Okay, well, let's see here. Should we see what's in these, or do you want to talk about the hot and cold barrier,
I just want to talk about this really quick, and I'm going to grab this little guy right here, because one thing that I have found that's an excellent gift to make are little hot pads.
Yes.
And so having a package of the hot cold barrier fleece on hand is awesome. This is 1 yard by 60 inches wide, so you get a lot of this. And this is that thermal stuff that keeps it so a hot pad won't burn your hands.
Yes.
A trivet won't burn the table. And I use this to make, in fact, you can go to our YouTube channel and see the little video we did about using these. This is the Quilt Builder card deck, and they're the Christmas ones. And all you do is you pick the design you want, and it will show you all the sizes of the piece that you need to make the design. And it gives you like 5 different sizes. So you can make a quilt out of it. You can make a pot holder. You could do whatever you want. But it's just kind of like an inspiration.
Yeah, it's so cute.
It's really cool. So if you have this on hand and this on hand, you will, in a couple hours, you can have
I think we should give one of each of these away. Who wants to win one of each of these?
Are they going to go
together? 2 different people, because you could use this for lots of different things.
I made lunch boxes out of
lunch boxes. And then we have the Christmas Builder card deck. This has been really popular. We're featuring it in our SoFund program. If you haven't been to our holiday open houses, we have those there. And then we do have them in the stores as well. So they're going to get us some names. So just remember, if you're not watching this live, you can like, comment, and share. And you will enter to win one of these as well. But we're going to give away 2 right now. One of each of these, 2 people who are watching live, because we got to reward you for watching us live. We love it. Okay, so this guy right here goes to Laura Emmel. So Laura, you are the winner of the hot and cold barrier fleece. Put your name on this one, and then this one goes to
Gloria Motz.
Gloria Motz,
So
you win that guy. Congratulations. Fun prizes. We love giving away things.
Yep. And then so if you're watching after the fact, then and Gloria and who is it? Laura. So make sure you contact us, and so we can get all your information and know where to get these.
Message us or shoot us an email.
But if you're watching after this was live, then make sure you like, comment, and share, and do all those things. And also, if you're watching now, you can still do that. We suggest you do that, because then you're in the subsequent drawing that we were going to draw on
the 20th. Yes, exactly. Okay, well, now I want to get my stocking. What's in here?
She's so impatient.
I'm super impatient.
Let me see your stocking, Carmen.
It's empty. Oh no, was I bad? Was I bad girl?
It's empty.
Oh,
okay. So there's a okay. So do you know why the letter E was the only letter to get a Christmas gift?
No.
Because the rest of them were naughty.
Naughty.
Okay.
That's funny. So we have this up here because this is a stocking that someone knitted for me in 1980, and I still have it. And I think it's just sort of fun because we all love receiving homemade gifts, right? And we save them and people cherish them. So like when you make a towel for somebody or make something, people love, they love it.
And don't forget your sewing friends, because sewing friends really probably appreciate it even more than the non-sewing friends. Okay, so we have some stocking stuffers. So.
Ooh, this is fun. Oh, look at this. This is also by Quilter Select. Now, all of the Quilter Select products have been designed by Alex Anderson, who is a quilter, which is part of the reason why we love her stuff so much, because she's made stuff we actually want to use. This is new. This is a magnetic, actually, I'm not sure that this part's magnetic. It's a pin cushion. So this is, you put your pins in here, but it's for your wrist. So if you're, you can have it and you don't have to put them in your mouth, because please do not put pins in your mouth.
No,
one time we had somebody literally inhale one and had to go to the ER.
And she says, "Will I never live that down?" No, because that was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, and it still makes me cringe, right? So this is great because then instead of having your mouth, you can have them right next to you. These come in an array of colors.
Yes. I'm going to get the other one here.
Yep, there's the other one. So all sorts of different colors. And then they also have these stones in the middle. So this is quartz. This is, what is that one called again? Soda light.
Yeah.
And so they have fun, and then they have matching components. So like this guy is actually magnetic, and it's a needle minder, so you could put it on your shirt somewhere, and you could needles are magnetic to it. And then we have these in all of the fun colors as well.
You know what this reminds me of? This is before your time, Carmen, but in the 80s and early 90s, we wore big hair bows in our ponies, so this kind of reminds me of that.
Hey, that stuff is back.
It is back.
It is back, for real.
It is. Okay, you want your next present?
Yeah, I do. I want all my presents. Ooh, this is a seam press. So the seam press, once again, it sort of goes with this theme of all of these little guys, right? And you can see all the different colors here. We have the turquoise. Let's see if we get these lower maybe. And go to the other camera. There we go.
Rose quartz.
We have the rose quartz, we have the turquoise, and we have that soda light. And what's cool about these is, I mean, how many times have you finger pressed something, right? All the time. And so what these are is there's a nice little point on one end, so that way you could open a seam a little bit, but also on this side it has a really lovely flat spot here, so you can press your seams open all the time. I love having one of these right next to my sewing machine, and I love how these are very pretty. And if you wanted, you know, if you really wanted to do something fun for someone's stocking, you could get them one of each of these things that match, right? You could get the whole, maybe you get the whole rose quartz selection, or soda light, whatever color you like. But it's very fun, and it all has, and it all matches, which is cute. We all like cute sewing stuff.
We love cute sewing stuff. Okay.
Okay, what do we got now?
This feels like magic.
It feels like magic.
Oh, love those.
Love these. Okay, so you can't have too many pins, and you certainly can't have too many pins that are magnetic. So what I love about this is these are, yeah, they don't fall out. Look at that, right? You can't make a mess, because if you can make a mess, you can, like I do all the time. And these are they're ultra fine quilting pins, so they're not going to leave a hole in your cotton fabric. They're glass, so that way you can iron on them. There's a couple different colors of both the blue and the orange, and then they come in this dish that is magnetic. So we love this.
Another thing that's good for your go bag to put in your trolley when you're going to go to classes, because it's always contained nicely.
Yeah, we should give away one of these too.
Yeah, we should.
Like, comment, share.
Is my name in the drawing?
At least 15 times.
Okay.
I mean, my name's in it too. We're just going to give the stuff to ourselves. No, just kidding.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't really work that way, but we do get to see all the cool stuff, which is super fun. And so for the person watching live right now, you are winning this Camille Ryan. Yay, Camille. And then if you like, comment, and share if you're not watching this live. And even if you are, you get entered to win again. So enter to win, like, comment, share, and then we'll do a drawing on the 20th. If you are a winner, just message us or shoot us an email, and we'll figure out how to get this to you.
What did you first?
What else?
I'm gonna do these. These go together.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. So these are Sew Tights. Okay, Sew Tight is a brand, and they have a ton of different things that are magnets. Okay, they're all different types of magnets, and we have two different types here. We have original.
You open.
No, let's open one of each so we can sort of show the difference. They have the original ones here, which are these blue guys, and then they have the Sew Tights.
This is called lights.
And so they're good for different purposes. So like just the other day, I was at our Bellingham store, and a gal had the light ones, and she was showing me how she was using them for paper piecing, because they don't have too much grip. She found these are like perfect for as she holds the pieces she's cut out with the paper, holding it all together for her paper piecing, right? She uses it, which I think is a great spot for them. You can use these for all sorts of different things. You could use it to hold, instead of an adhesive, you could use it in your embroidery hoop to hold your stabilizer on, or to hold the fabric on, right?
And they work really well if you're doing handbags, if you're making bags, because you have all those crazy layers, and they have the HD ones, the heavy duty, that are really strong, that will go through all those layers. And then, because you can't pin fluff.
No, exactly. And what's great is you can't poke yourself with these either. They are not going to stab you.
You're not going to bleed.
There's no bleeding with the Sew Tights, but they really work in a lot of places where you might use pins. And then like Reva said, we have the light ones, we have the standards, and then we have the heavyweights. And they even have a Magnum, which I probably should have brought up here, but it is big. It's like this big.
It's like 4 inches long.
Yeah, and it works beautifully for leaders on long arms. And it's pretty awesome. So lots of cool different things that Sew Tights have. They actually have a whole whole collection of things are all on the website, and we didn't bring them all to talk about today. But if you're curious about how magnets might serve you, there's a ton of cool stuff on the website about those.
And I'm going to back up 1 minute just because if that confused you, if she's talking about using the magnums on leaders, what you do is you put the metal piece in the hem of your leader, and then you place your quilt over the top. This is on a long arm frame. Then you can magnetize or clip your quilt to the leader instead of pinning. Again, no bleeding.
No bleeding. We're trying to not have the pins because we're a little bit, klutzy.
I was going to say we're trying to be gentle, but
we're trying to be gentle. We just tend to, if we can hurt ourselves somehow with a sewing thing, we've done it. So that's why we love tools that help us not do that.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of sharp things.
Oh no. Ooh, no,
these
I
are
love
the blunt
these.
tip.
These are the blunt tip. So do you want to talk about the beautifulness of Kai? We have a couple pairs.
Talk about the beautifulness of Kai.
Kai is some of our favorite, and these are my favorite because of the blunt tip.
Yeah, so this is a double curved scissor. I don't know if we can get down here. Whoops, up, over. Okay, so this is great if you're going to be trimming threads in your embroidery hoop because you can hold them here and then it goes down and back up and the curve comes back up, so you're not going to stab your fabric. Hence, the blunt tip is very, very handy because you're going to be able
There's
to
a
get
theme here, because when I've had the pointy ones, I have literally accidentally put a hole in my fabric, and this prevents that because it's a blunt tip.
And it curves back up.
And it curves back up, so it has all of the cool things, but then I'm not going to accidentally get overzealous and dig a hole into something.
Right. But if you're cutting something larger, like you're cutting out a garment or something like that, you're going to absolutely, oh yeah, Cammie, I have multiple pairs of Kai's too. But you're going to love this pair of scissors. This is their professional series, and Kai scissors are some of the most beautiful scissors because when you cut with them, it feels like butter. Okay, when you cut. The professional series, though, doesn't feel like butter. It feels like melted butter.
They are amazing.
So
if you could hear them right now, they are just...
We should just take a moment.
I know, just listen to the beautiness. They're lovely.
Just lovely. Anyhow,
our favorite.
But they're absolutely the most beautiful scissors. And what's really nice is that they're heavy duty enough to do the job, right? They are such precise. The blades are so precise that it does a beautiful cut, but they're not all metal, because there's beautiful scissors that are all metal, and when I use them I feel like I'm getting a blister on my thumb, or and these are lightweight enough, an indent, and it hurts, and these are lightweight enough that it doesn't really do that, but it also is so smooth. They're not awkward or gangly or anything. They're just absolutely the best cutting experience.
They're definitely our team's favorite. If you want to give somebody a nice pair of Kai scissors, they're all nice, but their professional line is their best quality ones. So they also have other styles of scissors
which
that
are beautiful,
good value scissors. Like if you have a beginner, but if you want something that's really just going to elevate your cutting experience, the professional series of Kai's are amazing.
Now, and
they have all different sizes. I think these are the 9.5.
9.5. So this is just a good.
But they have a 10-inch. They have an 8. They have left-handed. They really have them all.
Yeah. Now, if you are a sewing supporter, if you love someone who is a sewist, and you want to get on their good size. This one is the 9.5.
Yeah.
But if you want to get on their good side for Christmas, you wrap this up and you give them this, and on the tag you say, "I will never touch these." And then they're going to be happy as a clam because you gave them a promise and the most spectacular gift.
Exactly.
We have a few questions.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what we got. Is it worth having my old Kai sharpened, or should I just buy new?
Okay, that's a good question. You can return the scissors to Kai and they can sharpen them.
Yep.
However, I have a pair that I've had forever and they need to be sharpened. And you know what I decided? Just get a new pair. Because then that one can go into my gift wrap. I'll put a little ribbon on it and it can become a craft scissor, because they actually make really good craft scissors too. But if you designate it, then it doesn't matter. Yes, if you're a left-handed, okay, now that's not the right question. If you're left-handed sewer, you mean a left-handed cutter? Anyway, I'm just being sassy because I'm left-handed, but I right-hand cut. Okay,
but so they do have
left-handed scissors.
They
absolutely.
They have quite a few different styles, even in left-handed scissors.
Yeah, and if we don't have it in stock,
we can order it, and we have most of them on the website. So yeah, for sure. Do you have the item number or SKU for those nice scissors?
Absolutely,
yes.
It's N7230.
N7230. Those are beautiful.
Absolutely
yeah, amazing.
beautiful. Okay. All right. Let's see what else is in the next stocking. Oh, these are some of my favorite things. I use these all the time.
Oh, clips. There's a theme here about no sharp objects. So quilting clips, right? So these guys are great because once again, you can use them in lieu of pins. I love them when I'm quilting and I'm gonna put like my binding on, I'm just gonna clip it all, or maybe I'm trying to hold layers of fabric together, you know, if I'm working on a pattern. But these guys, they come in 2 different colors. And then what I really like about the Quilter Select ones is they have, you probably can't really see it, but their little teeth sort of go like, they sort of are like this, or I can put my hand down here like this. So they like grab on a little bit better. They're not totally flat on the actual little
they have a little
grabber.
They have a little overbite.
Yeah, overbite. That's a good way to describe it, but I think it holds the fabric better. There's lots of different types of these little clips. Once again, the reason why we champion the Quilter Select products is because Alex Anderson designed them all, and so she's actually used them, and we always find any product that's really been designed by real quilters or real sewers is always just a far superior product because they've thought about the things. Yeah. And yes, Betsy, these clips are great for bag making as well.
Absolutely, and they're a little bit broader at the tip than a standard quilt clip, which is lovely. And like Carmen said, how they work is it has a lip on one side so it curves, and then a curve like this so it locks the fabric into the layers into each other. Yeah, and it comes in a cute box. Who doesn't like boxes? I mean, seriously, boxes and office supplies.
Yeah, I know. Good stuff.
Okay.
Hey, we still have more in there? This is a good stocking.
This is a great, I would not mind this stocking.
I know, me either. Ooh, okay. So these needles. I cannot say enough about needles. If your machine is misbehaving, put a new needle in it. If, you know, like you've sewn for 8 hours, put a new needle in it. If you started a new project, put a new needle.
And if you don't remember the last time you had a needle,
put a new needle in. And I say this over and over because a lot of times our issues when our sewing projects are actually connected to the needle, right? Maybe the thread's being finicky and you put a top stitch needle in and now it works beautifully. So the reason why I bring this up is we have all of these great little box sets that have different themes that have quite a few different needles in them. So we have one that is designed for embroidery. Oh wait, this one's the mixed one. So we have one that's a mix and it's gonna have top stitch, ballpoint, universal, serger, let's see here, all sorts of good stuff like that. There's one that's sort of a mix. There's one that's designed for quilting, which is this purple one. This purple one has a whole bunch of different sizes. What is it? It's like 7511, 9014 quilting. It has sharp, it has titanium, it has top stitch. So this is the quilting package. This guy here, that the pink one, is for embroidery. So it has the 7511 embroidery, 9014 embroidery, the titanium, and then and titanium ones as well in here. And if you're hearing those numbers and you're like, oh my goodness, Carmen, what are those numbers? Well, those numbers are the size of the needle. So the smaller the size, so 7511 is smaller than a 9014. So this is one of those cases where the smaller number does mean smaller size. And most of us are going to sew most of the time with a 7511 or a 9014, right? A lot of times, like my go-to is like a 9014 jeans is like my basic, just like throw it in and go with it and see if it works well. But other people have different ones that they pick, right? Some people use universal, but the tips of the needles are actually different from like a universal needle to a denim needle to a sharp. And so it's really nice to have a variety pack. And I think we even probably have a how do I all on needles, because needles can be like a whole 30-minute segment of like, this needle does this and this needle does that. But what I love about these sets for a stocking or just for a great gift is you can get a nice variety of them. So when you need them, you have them. And then the last one, I don't know if we have it up here, but we also have ones that are for sergers. So if, let's say you have a Baby Lock Triumph, there's a whole box that are designed for the needle that works for that serger. Or maybe you have the Baby Lock Victory. There's a whole box of needles that work for that serger. There's basically 2 types of serger needles, and we have a little gift pack for each of them. And so this is really a fun, nice little gift. And once again, we like boxes. They're in tins, which is handy.
It makes a great stocking stuffer. Oh, this one, this is a very important one, and it goes back to our theme.
Does it? So
when you're cutting with a rotary cutter and you're having to push, it's time for a new blade.
These are brand new.
Yeah.
So Quilter Select just came out with brand new titanium titanium blades. These are a 45 millimeter blade. They're titanium. You could use this on the Quilter Select rotary cutters or on a standard 45 millimeter rotary cutter. These are brand new. You can see how they're shiny in that titanium, so they're going to last longer.
And they're pretty with the oil slick.
And they're pretty with that oil slick finish. We love titanium blades, and so these are brand new, great stocking stuffer. And like I said before, all of these things are on sale on our website. They're on sale in the stores. We have special prices on them. And let's not forget about, we've talked about needles, threads, cutting things. Oh, I guess we haven't talked about threads. That's what I was trying to get at, but I just said it as I saw it. So we have tons of beautiful thread sets, so many different thread sets. So these are the brand new, these are 12 weight glamour thread, and we have all these beautiful different colors of these of this 12 weight glamour thread set. Okay, what's cool about this 12 weight is you can use it in the eye of your needle, and you can use it for embroidery. You could use it for decorative stitches. And guess what we did? Because we made this one, Reva and I did. We put the instructions right in the back of the box. So it says exactly what you need to do, how to set it up and be successful. And look how cool the sample is here.
That's doing it with the eye of the needle. And then of course I showed you before in the serger.
So really pretty, really, they're metallic.
And there's 5 different color sets available.
There's blue, there's green, there's pink, there's a Christmas one that has like holiday colors in it, all sorts of good stuff. The other thread sets we have a whole bunch of different Floriani thread sets. This one is called Winter Tidings, but they're all good value sets. They make a great gift because you really can't have too many colors in your rainbow.
You cannot have too many.
Right, you need all the color crayons to do all of the fun things. And so we have lots of really fun thread sets right now in store and online. You can check those out. We have questions. How often should you change your rotary cutter?
When it gets dull.
Yes, or when you, it sort of depends. So like if you're, obviously you never want to accidentally cut like on top of a needle, which is also part of the reason why I like clips, because it's a lot harder to accidentally cut on a clip than a needle. But like if you have accidentally gone over a needle, you might have nicked your rotary cutter. And so that means you might have to change it sooner. If you're cutting on, there's certain fabrics that dull scissors.
Like something that has a metallic in it.
Yes, the dull scissors and blades faster. So then that might dull it. If you're just doing quilting cotton all the time and you're very, very careful, they're going to dull a lot less quickly. I generally keep a selection, right? I have my newest one, but then I usually have one that I've tagged that's like a little bit rough that I might use for something, or maybe I push that to my paper blade, right? Like I have one rotary cutter that I just use for paper.
That's what I do. I actually wrote paper on the Quilter Select handle, and then my old blade goes in there.
Yeah.
And so then we cycle them down. But you'll know, if you're working too hard, it's time to change the blade.
Yeah, or if it's skipping, right? Like if you have like it's cut and then it skips and then it cuts and it skips, that's usually because it's like nicked from a pin thing and it's time to get a new blade on.
Could be. And or if you have that problem consistently, even if it's a new blade, is your matte one, like the white one that has the pebbly texture on the top, that's going to cause the fibers to go down in there, and you're not going to get a clean cut. That's another reason why I love the Quilter Select.
Yeah. Okay, how do you know it's your rotary blade that needs to be changed, or is it your mat that needs to be changed? So I think the telltale there, Mary, is if you put a brand new blade in and it is not cutting well, it's probably something with your mat.
Right.
Sometimes if you cut in the same place over and over again, you get a groove. Even on a resealing mat, if you just cut in the exact same spot over and over and over and over and over again, eventually it will not be able to reseal, which is part of the reason why you want to be rotating your mats. If they're double-sided, you want to be using both sides, because that will, if you're not cutting in the same spot all the time, you're going to expand the life of that mat and the life of your rotary cutters, actually.
Yeah, that's a really good tip.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, would you ever sharpen a rotary blade?
I actually have done that in the past, because there's little doohickeys you could.
Yeah, I think Grace makes a little machine that, and we have them on the website.
However, they're not as good as a brand new blade. And it's more effort than maybe you need to take. So, figure out if that's a time that you want to do, because blades they're not a penny a piece. However, based on the ease and the beauty of use.
Right. And that's why I just use mine, instead of tossing it, I use it for paper, so I don't feel like I'm like, I can just put a new one for fabric. I know it's gonna work really great, because you want your blade to be super sharp on fabric.
And it is the holidays, so go ahead and treat yourself to a brand new rotary cutter with a new blade, and write paper on your old one, and then think about how easy it is to wrap your presents.
Another, like that's actually what I did when I got my Quilter Select blade, is I took my previous one, which isn't Quilter Select, and that's my paper one rotary cutter now, and so now my Quilter Select can be, because I love that one, for my fabric.
Yeah, it's just absolutely perfect.
2 more questions. Let's see. How many stitches can you get out of the average needle sewing a standard projects? Sometimes I feel like I'm tossing out good needles.
Oh, that's okay. So that's I'm gonna take this one from Tom.
Please.
That's a very good question. The general rule of thumb is 8 hours of sewing. So every morning, if you're sewing all day, put in a new needle. Now here's the thing: you may have a damage, a bend, a strike on your needle that you cannot see. And even though, you know, a pack of needles, again, isn't a penny, but it's the most least expensive line of defense to a working machine.
Yeah.
Because if you have a bend in a needle or a burr on a needle, you're going to damage your fabric, but you could also damage your machine. And can you afford to be without your machine for a couple of weeks while it's in for service? So treat yourself to a new needle, and just try not to be too stingy on them, because it can make a huge difference to the life and the health of your machine.
Yeah, for sure. And I also think, like, the rule of thumb is, even if you just put a brand new needle in and like you've only sewn, I don't know, 10 minutes and something seems to be going terribly wrong, put a new needle in. Sometimes they're defective, sometimes they struck something. So much of the time, a needle or having the right needle actually like makes or breaks the difference of everything working beautifully for your project.
It's a huge thing. My dad was his hobby was woodworking, and he always instilled in me that having the proper tool for the job makes a world of difference. And going down just the simplest thing as a needle can make all the difference in your joy. So don't frustrate yourself, just get a new needle.
I have lots of them on hand. Let's see, another question. Can the wool ironing mat be used without a board? So it definitely could, but you want to make sure the surface can handle, the wool ironing mat is going to, like, the moisture is going into that mat. From, you know, unless you have a Loristar that's totally dry, most of our irons are producing, when they steam, they're actually producing moisture. And so you would want to make sure that the surface down below isn't going to be damaged from that moisture. That's the reason why we would normally recommend to put it on an ironing board. So if you put it on top of a towel or something so that moisture wasn't going onto a wood surface, it would be fine. Even this mat here, what they recommend, they give you instructions, since one side is wool and the other side is the cutting mat, which I love this for like turning and pressing, and just maybe taking with me to class or something. It says that after you've ironed here, right, you want to leave this up so that it can evaporate this way and you're not like locking all of the moisture in, if that makes sense.
Let it cool before you flip it over.
Exactly. And so sort of the same thing with if you're going to put that wool mat on something else, right?
Right. And the other thing is, please, I know that this one's designed, but it has a special core in it. Refrain from putting your wool pressing mat on top of your cutting mat, because the heat will warp your cutting mat.
Yes, the heat will warp your cutting mat. Yeah. Exactly.
Absolutely.
One more question. I love all the questions, you guys. Thank you. Do you have to use a different size needle with a new kind of thread, with the new kind of thread you showed us? Yes, if you're talking about this, because it is a 12 weight, you need to use a larger needle. I think that we put back here machine 100/16 or 120/19 top stitch needle is what is recommended, because it is big, and if the thread won't go through the eye of your needle, it means you need a bigger needle.
And the other thing about a top stitch needle is that it has a deeper groove down the front of the needle that the thread can lay in, and it actually protects the thread from abrasion.
And that's part of the reason why decorative threads, top stitch needles, are often going to be
your friend.
They are your friend. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Do we have any more goodies?
We
got
some
some
vinyl.
vinyl.
Have some pretty things. Take a look in our stores. We have some shiny little things. Like this is the glitter, the Luxe Sparkle Vinyl, and it's actually fabric, so you can make little zipper bags out of it, or any other little project. But we have lots of colors on that, and I think
we have a couple of this. So we have
this.
Yes, we have a couple. We have like 2 or 3 more things to talk about. So we did just want to mention fabric, because fabric is is a great gift. There's all these fun little pre-cut sets, right? We have charm packs, we have jelly rolls, layer cakes.
And fat quarters.
And fat quarters, and we have these in stores. We don't have really fabric on our website, but we do have fabric in stores. So come on in. We have a whole bunch of new holiday fabric. We already have, like, I've seen a lot of the stores, they already have their Valentine's fabric.
That's right.
So
and who doesn't love fabric? So this is a great gift. One size fits all, or all sizes fit all, I guess.
Yes, and then of course we have the Tula fabric. Really quickly, I want to give away one of these. So I want to give away one more thing here. So I'm going to give away the red one. I think red's prettier. Should we give away gold?
Well, let's do red for the current online and gold for the
perfect. So if you like, comment, and share, you'll be entered to win. And then this one is going to Julie Davis. Julie Davis, congratulations, because you're watching live. You're going to get the red one, and then we'll do the gold one for whoever wins for like, commenting, and sharing. And we will do those drawings on December 20th. So now I'm realizing we have a couple more things. I know we're just like keep going, but literally this is only a tiny fraction of the things we could have talked about. So first, real quick, I'm going to talk about one more iron that we have. This is the Panasonic cordless iron, okay? So what's cool about this, it's called the Freestyle, is the cord here is in the base. So this is what plugs into your wall, but then this guy can move around. And so you can sit here and charge, and then you can go over an iron. And this is great for taking to classes. And this cord just retracts in, and then it has a nice little travel lid. And this comes in a really great blue color like this, or a turquoise color, which is really fun. It's one of our best-selling irons that we've had. It's called the Freestyle Panasonic iron. Really great seller, super handy to use. We use it in our classrooms even because they're awesome. But the other thing I wanted to show you is maybe we can see back here, and we have a lot of lights, you probably can't tell, but this is the daylight slim line lamp, and a light is a great gift because I don't know if you live here in Western Washington, we get some rain, and when it's rainy, it is dark and you need more light. And what's cool about the slim line and the daylight lamps is they provide true light. Okay, so that means that the colors are going to be like just like you were having outside natural light. And then also there's been a lot of research around eye fatigue, and when you don't have enough light, your eyes actually get fatigued, you're more apt to get a headache, you probably have to quit sewing sooner. And so having good light is going to help with your precision, and it's also going to help with your eyes so you can sew longer, you won't get fatigued. And then this has been our best-selling light, and you can see it's like bendy here, you can get it around your machine, it clamps onto your table, and you can really get it anywhere you need that light. And you can sort of see the difference, right? Look how bright it is when I start moving it on that quilt. And this guy, it's called the Slimline 3 table lamp, and I have a smoking deal on this on the website and in stores because we have a very special price on it. So it's been our best-selling light. And exactly, Stephanie, you can never have too much light. So the lamps, we have all different types of lamps. There's little mini ones with magnifiers, there's big ones, but this one, we featured this one today because it has been our best-selling light, and everyone loves it. Okay, and then finally, the last thing I have, you guys, this is probably going to start looking messy because I'm going to pull them up here on this table, is we have trolleys. So here's the other Tula thing I was promising to talk about. So we have these beautiful Tudo trolleys, and we have different sizes that hold all different types of machines, sizes of machines. They open up here, so it makes it really easy to get your machine in. There's pockets on the inside. There's straps to hold your machine. And then what's great about this guy is the wheels. It has 4 wheels that spin all the way around. So they're very high quality. They have pockets on the outside here, so you can put all of your goodies in here, your project, all that stuff. Super easy, and they're super cute. So this one is Tula, and there's a couple different Tula ones, and they also have, and that's the XL one, which is bigger. This guy's a little bit smaller, and this is in case fabric, also super fun. So we have, and they have the handles flip down, which I like for storage. So super cute. And then the other trolleys we have are for smaller machines, and these are the Blue Fig trolleys. Now we had these years ago, and then we didn't have them, but now they're back, which is great. So this is the TB19. So this would be great for like that Jubilant. And they have quite a few different types of storage things. So this is a more traditional trolley like this. And so I put a couple other things in here to show you. So not only is there the bag here for the machine, but they also make cute little notions bags like this that you can store, hold this down, not my face, that you can store all of your notions and accessories. These can make a great gift. And then the other thing that they make is they call this a project bag. I'm going to pull the trolley down. But this project bag can also be really great for a small sewing machine if you want to take it to class or something, or it can be a project bag, and then both of these can actually hook onto that trolley if you want to make a full set. So super fun totes, and these come in all different colors. We put purple out because it tends to be our best seller, but we do have red, there's blue, there's black, all sorts of different stuff. And then in the stores, we have other trolleys as well, and other trolleys on the website, and you can check them all out. And, you know, make someone's Christmas dreams, holiday dreams come true here.
This would be a fabulous stocking. Could you imagine that filled with goodies?
Oh, there you go. This could be the stocking. It'd be a giant stocking. I like that.
Yeah.
More fun stuff.
Yeah.
So everything we have talked about today is on sale in our stores and on our website. You can check it out there. If you have questions, come on into the store or give us a phone call. If you don't live locally, we have 11 stores in Washington State, with our newest store being in the Tri-Cities area. In case you haven't heard, we have one there now. But we have 11 locations. I mean, we have all this good stuff in the stores. We'd love for you to come in. But if you don't live locally, we also ship anywhere in the U.S. And we have a great customer service team. Emily is awesome. You can call her and she can answer any questions you have. And we do ship. It's free shipping for anything over $100. You can also ship stuff to the stores for free and then pick it up at the store. So it's there. So I don't know about you, but I have some Christmas shopping. I have holiday shopping left to do.
Yep. And that's contiguous.
Yes. Anyway, yes, exactly. Thank you. Yes. Alaska and Hawaii, we also ship to, but it is not free shipping. So yes, like, comment, and share on this, and you will be entered to win any of the 5 or 6 items that we gave away. And we will do that drawing on December 20th. If you have questions about any of this good stuff, please let us know. Every Tuesday, we go live at Quality Sewing with our How Do I series. And a lot of times it's a project or it's a tip, but be sure to join us here at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays. And thanks today for all of your great questions, and happy holidays, everybody.
Merry Christmas.